Well, it first came about as each mark that the group has been able to make, whether it was 10 years, 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever, 25, Claudette was still working on a book. And it became more and more difficult, and as this was becoming the 60th, I had a very good idea from a person other than myself, and that was Denise Pendleton, who said, what market has Motown not tapped into? And came up with children. And who, when you think about it, where is the future going to become? Where's it coming from? Our children, because if you're going to the 60-year-old people, in 10 years, they may or may not be around. Our children are still growing in lessons that need to be learned. And who are my favorite people? Everybody who knows me knows that children, I mean, I love children. I've always loved children, and they just have so much to give. The inspiration that they give me is a desire to do better, become better. And so with that, it was a way, the book came about as a way of being able to tell my story in like a fairy tale sort of sequence to say who is the First Lady of Motown. And music saves the day. What better story can that be? I love it. Even though it's about me, I really am. Each time that I go out, I'm just elated to be able to read to the children and just see their faces and what they're envisioning when I'm saying it, especially if they haven't read the story themselves. But when they've read the story, they always want to know who is the witch. And they give me all kinds of names, and some of them are Motown artists. They'll say, is it so-and-so? And it's been very rewarding because I can now add author to my title. And I just, in all honesty, I can tell you, I absolutely love it. And I'm so happy for all the people who work with me to make this all possible. And because it's not just one person's work or one person's anything. And to be able to travel around the country and tell them and, read to them, and they want to dance, they want to get up, and they want to show what they're doing, they want to whistle, they want to, stomp their feet. And we just came from Austin, Texas, and they were holding up their hands because I was like, well, is there anybody who wants to sing? Me. And then someone would come down and they'd whisper in my ear and they'd say, I'm a little shy. Can I whistle? Or can I just stand here with you? And one of the things is that for some, what I have said to them, I said, do you realize that almost everybody who's in show business, they're shy. I said singing, dancing, playing a musical instrument, that's their inspiration to, that's their alter ego, to be able to come out of themselves, and they can be another person while they're doing it. And they were like, oh yeah. And it's, if you just can see what I see in their faces and the joy they receive from the music, because unfortunately, they're taking music out of many of the school systems, and it's no longer one of their programs, which I feel is wrong, and it's not a good thing that it's happening. And hopefully they'll be able to really, for places where it's not, they'll be able to put it back as being a great part of their program, because it does so many things. It helps them with their math. It helps with so many things. It helps with what you feel about yourself, what you feel about others, and it can help in so many areas of your life. until taking it away, you're really taking away some of the better things that can happen. And it gives them something to do. You know, they don't have to be on the internet 24/7. They can also do some other things. So I am just, for me, I can tell you, if I could get paid the amount of dollars of the joy that I receive from each and every one of these kids, I would probably be richer than the whole entire world, because I actually enjoy it that much, and I want them to enjoy it. And it's reading is instrumental to so many things. And so it gives them a chance through my small contribution for them to be able to just enjoy and live life and just know that it's a lot of good things, even though there's a lot of bad things that are happening, you know, all the different crime and the shootings and all that. It's horrible. But yet you can take a portion of that by being able to read something. And I'm hoping that with music saving the day, that they'll be able to get something from my work that I've done, and for it to continue, that this is not the end of the series, because I'm talking about Claudette as the First Lady of Motown, but they're also the Miracles. And each one of those people played a great part in whatever has happened to me. And speaking of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, if you could know, Bobby at the time that we were inducted was very, very ill, almost to the point of his demise, because he passed away shortly after that. His dream, his thoughts, his everything, almost daily, maybe not on a daily basis, but at least every week, it's like, Claude, you think we're ever going to be inducted? And I was like, well, when it got the time that we actually were, it was very good to tell him, yes, we are going to be inducted, because it was unfortunate that there was only Pete and I. Pete was also very ill, and Smokey inducted us. So there were the three of us, but had it been done sooner, but timing is everything. And it came when it was supposed to come. But it would have been so good if it had happened, let's say even 10 years prior, because we would have been able to actually perform for, you know, the audience and the world to see. Because we actually could do something pretty good. You know, at least I thought so. So that's my only regret, is that we were not able to perform as an entire group, you know, because it was so much later down the line. Because I think Smokey was inducted, what, in 89, 87, 89, something like that. And ours was a lot later, but at least he was there along with us, because he himself, today, yesterday, and forever, will always be a miracle.